A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing people out there to my channel. Divine Masculine daydreams about DF while he is with her. So in this channeling session, I actually got connected with two DMs first, and then in between, when I take these breaks, I do other stuff. This is happening quite a lot in the past few, I can say, months. Ever since we had the lockdown situation, I got more and more channeling. This is not the usual love that you see that's being sold in the market. Everything happens for a reason, and good or bad doesn't really matter. It's all a part of the game. It's all a part of the big plan. And till the end, you shouldn't really care about what's going to happen. That type of a love, that type of love cannot be superficial. If it's actually love, it cannot be superficial. You cannot say that my boyfriend or my husband has to have six-pack abs, then only he's attractive for me. Or my wife has to be, I don't know what are the beauty standards. The beauty standards for women keep changing as per what the corporations want, whatever they want to sell. Or they have like standard formats, like 5 or 6 standard formats. Like they had been putting a lot of money into Kylie Jenner or these weirdos. They want people to look in a certain way. It's almost like they want people to be in some kind of a mold, stuck in a mold. People are stuck in a mold. But you have to love yourself first. And these energies, these people that I'm picking on, all these masculines that I'm picking on, they all love the feminine for who she is. And in the second masculine, what I see is that he used to have a lot of fights with his DF. Lot of fights, like crazy fights. They used to fight like cats and dogs. And he actually thought that she's a scammer. And from being a scammer and hating her every single day, he literally wanted to destroy her. He wanted her to be out of his sight. And from that situation to what I see, that he is so much in love with her, he respects her. There were misunderstandings, and such horrible misunderstandings. You actually used to think that she's a horrible person, probably the worst person he's ever met. From there to he is loving her while they are in an office corporate situation. The reason why I actually spoke about, I went back to my corporate days and how I started working is because of this channeling, because I see them both in a corporate setup, and this is not a typical corporate setup, because most of the corporate setups are very boring and very machine-like, the environment. You just wake up in the morning, you get ready for work, you wear your formal clothes, then you get into the car, you drive, then you go to the office, you're there for 7, 8, 9 hours, 10 hours, whatever is required of you, and you look at the same faces every day, and everyone is just working because they have to earn a salary. If you say to them that there is no salary, I bet you with you on this, I can make a bet on this, they will not come even for the next hour. They won't even work for one more hour, because the jobs are so boring for them. They are not doing it because they love it. They're doing it because they have to earn money and they have to run a house. That's it. So that's the environment that most divine feminines and masculines are pushed into, thrown into. And I have been a part of that. And from that, if you have to break free and come into your natural self, where you're not worried about last day of the month where you get the salary, or whatever arrangement you have, first week, or in some countries you have weekly salaries. Most people are literally doing these things because they are not taught to grow food. They're not taught to grow herbs. They're not taught that we can live in an interdependent society, that I grow tomatoes, you grow potatoes, and we can exchange. And someone else can grow something else, someone else can grow something else. Earth is big, it's beautiful, it's abundant. You can do anything on planet Earth, and yet they sell genetically engineered food. They sell you processed food, and they force you to eat it, in the sense they market it so heavily and they put you in those lifestyles where you have no other choice but to actually eat whatever you can get, and you spend a whole lot of money just to sustain the lifestyle wherein you are their slave. The divine masculines, basically, one more person got added actually in this channeling. So I got another person added to this list. So these two, the first one was with his DF in some nature, some environmental stuff they were doing. The second one was in this corporate environment where there was a lot of chaos and everybody is very busy. They're all doing something good. They are actually working. It's an agriculture company. It's related to agriculture, something to do with crops and seeds and things like that. So they're doing something good actually. They're doing something good for people. So they're very busy, and in between all this busyness, both of them are smiling at each other, blushing at each other, crushing on each other, finding ways to just, kind of touch each other in a nice way, not in a horny way. They're not horny at all, by the way. So these are the things they're doing, and this couple used to fight a lot, and now they are opposite of that. So they have cleared out misunderstandings. And the divine feminine also, she did not know that she loved him, and now she is also 100% sure that this is the guy she loves. And the third channeling I received where the guy's daydreaming is in a metro city where this DM is waiting to meet his DF outside a restaurant somewhere, and they're about to meet, and he's waiting for her to come. And before she's there, he's actually daydreaming on how the meeting would be, and he would do what are the things that he would do to her. He would hold her hand, he would say something nice to her, give her a compliment maybe. He has a big smile on his face, and his heartbeat is in that mushy pink zone, and he's thinking 100 things to say to her, and this DM can't even actually wait anymore. He's like, I've waited so long for this girl to come over here. She's still not come here. How long am I going to wait? So every single minute is actually looking like a big one long hour to him. And he's so excited to see her. He's so excited. He wants to literally get up and, pick her in her arms, and just like how you do when you meet someone after a really long time and you just want to crash into them, you hold them. He really wants to do that to her. And when she comes in front of him, he cannot say or do anything at all. He's just very, very, very normal, and he's thinking in his head that I should do something, I should say something, but it's like they're having a very regular conversation, like what would you like to have, and so how was your day, and things like that. And he is thinking in his head that I just want to grab hold of her and I just want to bite her. I just want to actually check if it's actually real, if she's actually there or not. He's just actually very dumbfounded because all his plannings have not worked. He is thinking that she has a lot of power over him, and he just can't do anything, like whatever he planned. And he also notices that she is very formal with him, and there are moments like he is continuously daydreaming while they're having food and while they're enjoying the day and they're having a nice day. He is continuously daydreaming of what all he wants to do to her. What all he really wants to do to her. He wants to kiss her, he wants to hold her, he wants to make her sit on his lap, and he wants to ask her, like he wants to fight with her also, he wants to argue with her. All of these things he's imagining in his head, and at the same time she's sitting in front of him and looking very beautiful and attractive. He actually had not imagined that she would be so attractive, because they had been talking over the phone, they've been doing video calls for each other. It's always different when you meet someone in person than what you see in pictures and in videos and on phone calls. So when he's seeing her in front of him, he's actually quite dumbfounded because he never imagined that she would be so attractive. She's even more attractive than what he had imagined. So this is the third DM who's daydreaming while the girl is in front. So the third DM is basically with the DF, and they are meeting after a long wait. However, he seems to have no control over the whole meeting after she reaches there, and they have a beautiful time, no doubt, but he has already started imagining in his mind what all he would do with her in future. He has already made all the plans. Now, going back to the first DM, there are certain things that he says to her and she replies to him. I had to mix these readings because this is how I'm getting the channeling. I'm going from one vision to another and then coming back to them, and I can see some commonalities in all the DMs and DFs. Like I said in the first part itself, that the DFs they have really strong personalities, and they have built up this personality over a period of time. Now for all those people who are looking for a union and all those people who are looking for communication, I want to tell you guys one thing, that when the divine masculine ill-treated you, at that point in time, he saw you as a certain person. After inner work and after releasing all your blocks, you actually become a new person, a different person. So they come back to a new person. And because you have changed, they have changed, and you will also go back to a new person. So it's like your old selves have to die. They have to die, and they have to go back wherever they are in the past with all those previous blocks, previous beliefs. You have to form new beliefs. So in this case also, I do see one thing common, that these DFs have actually worked on themselves, because earlier the DMs used to hate them. In first case, the DM always liked this one, but he was very secretive about his feelings. So he actually tells her that I have been in love with you for a long time, but I never had the courage to tell you, or I could never say it to you. Today I am saying it to you. In case 2, both of them were enemies. They were literally enemies of each other. They used to hate each other. And it's really funny. And sometimes I don't know why I get these hilarious channelings, because I can see that this DM thought that this girl is a scammer. She's going to scam him. And from that, as I said, he respects her. And the third one, who has also waited for a really long time to be with this DF. So all of these DMs, there is one thing in common, that they have been trying to figure this girl out, this person out for a long time. There has been some time over communication. So some of you could be in an online digital communication with your DMs. And I want to say that those scenarios are also twin flame scenarios, especially if there is a very intense connection. You are probably in different cities, so you video calling each other every day, or talking to each other every day. There's a lot of emotional support. There is some very nice feeling that you have not felt with even those people who you meet on a daily basis. Same goes for him. He has said this to you, that look, I have met many people, I've spoken to many people, but you are the one, you're something different, you're very interesting, you're something that I really want to, I really feel you're special. You just know that feeling, there's a different feeling with your twin flame. So that situation could also play out, that you have been talking to one another for 2 years, 3 years. It's been such a long time you haven't met, and now after such a long wait you're meeting. It can work out like that also. So now the first DM is saying that no one knows that how we both became so mad for each other. Like we came in love with each other. And the girl says that you are one of the most adorable person. And then the guy says that just listen to my heart and understand what it's saying. It's saying that from now onwards, from today onwards, my heart belongs to you. I'm yours and you're mine. And then I go back to the second DF situation, where they say to each other, the DM says to her that this is the time for love. So finally this time has come that we feel this love for each other. Otherwise we've always been so lost, and you have been a different person and I've been a different person, and it seems that we are both renewed. It seems that we are not the same people. We are new people. We are the same. The looks are the same, appearance are same, but inside we have changed. And this change has created this love in my heart for you. And I'm sure you feel the same for me. So the girl says, yeah, I feel the same, and now I feel that without you I cannot continue my life. Like in my life you have to be there with me. And from today onwards we commit to each other, we come to each other. When your DM leaves you, when they block you, or when they leave you, or they ignore you, or where they feel that this is not the person I can be with anymore, I'm talking about those who are in separation. I want to say this to you all, it's because that person in the past, they did not want to be with that person. And today, like I see a lot of DFs being very angry, hateful, upset with them, and also hurt obviously. Some of them get angry with me also, which is so futile, which means that their journey will get more delayed. This anger and frustration will actually delay the journey even more, which is not a good thing. So, even when you accept him back, when he comes back to you, he also comes back as a person who's not the same guy who had humiliated you, fought with you, blocked you, ignored you, abused you verbally, or done some mean things to you. You won't accept the same man. You want to accept him in his new version. You want to accept him with that emotion that he did wrong to you and he is apologetic. So when they come back to you, both of you have to be in your receiving and giving energies. If the divine masculine comes back to you and you are upset with him still, it will not work out again then. He might not even come back, because it's all about energies. We are all energies, and you cannot compare. In part 2 I mentioned this thing with you all, and I kind of get why I mentioned it with you all. It's because you cannot compare your journey with what everyone else is doing. To be on this journey, to be on the twin flame journey, to be on the ascension journey, you have to be a different person altogether. If you are doing the same things like the whole world is doing, then you will never be chosen for this journey. You have to leave those things behind. You have to leave that person behind. And we keep dying. We keep dying every day. In fact, the person who was doing the channeling 20 minutes back for you, I'm not the same person. That person has already died. That Sunamoon does not exist. In this moment, there's a new Sunamoon who is doing this channeling. Past is a ghost. And if you will continue to live in the past anger, past frustration, past everything, then you can never be in this present moment. And in this channeling series, I can see that these are all divine masculines who were either confused or upset or angry with the DFs, unsure, some of them unsure. Because understand, when we do a channeling for the whole collective. We pick up cases, and this is done automatically. All these cases belong to a certain template, belong to a certain type of emotional group. And we all have the same core feelings. We are all humans after all. We all understand love. We all understand forgiveness. We all understand unconditional feelings. We all understand giving, receiving. We all understand change. The most important thing is change. There are many things we all can relate with. So if I am in love with someone and it's true love, I will definitely understand if someone else is in love with someone else. And we also understand morality. That's why this situation of karmics is given to us, to all of us. That even choosing a wrong job is not correct for your ascension journey. Even choosing a wrong place is not good for your ascension journey. If you have to, if the universe wants to, then you have to ask for strength to cope up with it, and you will get the strength. But if you're getting humiliated, and I want to say this to all of those people, if you are in an abusive relationship with someone, they are not your twin. That is a sign for you all. If someone is listening to me and they're in a physically abusive relationship, that's not your twin. Just because you feel it's your twin and you're allowing the abuse, that's wrong. Yes, we all have to change. We all have to become our higher self, our better versions, so that we attract the true love, so that when the DF becomes a better version, the DM automatically changes and comes back. That is true. 100% true. But that also means that you're not going to abuse someone and also to accept abuse. If you're also abusive, then it's the same thing. You must abuse someone who's raping someone. You must abuse someone who's doing immoral activities. You must abuse those people. No problem in that. You must help those people who need your help. But if you're abusing innocent people, good people, kind-hearted people, loving people, affectionate people, then what is the difference between you and all the wrong people? So, this is where I end this channeling, and this channeling is very important for any one of you who is going through a separation phase. Please understand that the DMs love you too, but just the way you have wounds, they also could have wounds. If they love you, they come back to you, they realize their mistakes. That's a human thing to do. No one is perfect on this planet. We are not perfect. God made us perfect, but we got impurities on the way. We need to clear those impurities. We need to burn in the fire, and then we will be ready to attract the right kind of life, the right people, the right job, the right work, the right attitude, the right body also. No more unhealthy foods, no more unhealthy lifestyles, no more bad habits, no more addictions. And that's important because you're in an ascension journey. You're not in a typical lifestyle. So obviously you gotta be different from others. You can't be the same. You can't be a packaged box like others. You gotta be different. You gotta be you. You gotta own it. You gotta own who you are. Thank you so much for being here. And by being yourself, you're increasing the vibration of the planet. You're helping in improved frequencies. Your awakened identities are helping planet Earth. Let's spread one love. Peace out.